this is where I think we need to start. The Denver Nuggets just took it to town on the Sacramento Kings last night. It was not pretty whatsoever, but Nikola Jokic continues to shine. I mean, it is just unreal how good he is at basketball. And you mentioned it before the show. You said the funniest part about it is that he just doesn't even care. He just doesn't even care about it.
There, bro.
And that's what makes it more exciting. They win 136 to 105. They put down 77 points in the first half. I mean, you just talked about Iowa State and Iowa in the game. They didn't even put 77 points in the whole game between one of those two teams, right? I mean, it's just insane. NBA numbers are getting absolutely wild. But Jokic obviously finishing the game with incredible style, like he always does. 36 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Plus 26 in the plus minus department, 14 for 16 from the field, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. I mean, this is a guy that is just incredible. And here's my question here. With all we're seeing from him the last couple seasons, a couple MVPs, the fact that he cares more about his horses than basketball, is he considered a top 10 player already? Like at this moment in time? All time. Would you put him in top 10 already? Because I think I would.
I think, honestly, yeah, I'm leaning yes. When you look at his stats this season, his stats get better year by year. Already this year, he's averaging 29.5, which is 5th in the league, 12.3 rebounds first, 10.9 assists first. He's averaging a triple-double. I mean, remember when Russell Westbrook went on that run? At that point, I was in high school, and one of the greatest runs of all time, in my opinion. Like every day, it felt like we were coming into science class to learn about Russell Westbrook's latest triple-double. It was electric. What Nikola Jokic is doing right now is on another level. And so you asked me this question. You said, we're going to talk about this today. So I said, you know what? Are there 10 players better than Nikola Jokic all time? I went ahead and thought of it. Can I get to 10? I couldn't.
You got to get to at least 9, right?
Right, yeah. I couldn't even get to 9. I got Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Steph Curry's in that conversation, Kevin Durant, Harden, Shaq. Like, I just couldn't get there, right? I just could not get to 10 or even 9. So, yes, by my count, that puts Nikola Jokic in the top 10 of all time. And whether or not you agree with my top 10 or not, I do think we actually, as a basketball community, need to start having this conversation of what he's doing in Denver is so uncharted. Like it is ridiculous. And I think that, it's worth having that conversation of, is he top 10? The reason I don't think people talk about it that way is because of the fact that he just, like you said, he's uninterested, right? He's like,
I love it.
When is the parade? I don't want to go to the parade. I want to just go home to race my horses. Like, and that's like, that's his, he's doing basketball as a job. He does basketball the same way that I go in and sell paper every day. Like, I don't want to be here. Are we getting out early for the snow? I would love to go home and get out early for the snow. Do I have to play basketball today? A little too snowy. I can't get to the game. Like, that is what I think is holding him back from these MVP, these top 10 conversations. The fact that a team can play 23.9 seconds of unbelievable defense, and then Nikola Jokic will just go, "Oh, pass it to me."
The reason you're pushing paper right now is because you don't quit your day job. Those voices, they're not great. They're not great.
Come on.
Jokic in the 2020s so far. Check out this stat. In the 2020s, he's first in points, first in rebounds, first in steals, first in assists. All of the main things that you think you should be a part of as a basketball player, in the 2020s, Jokic is first in. That is unreal.
Unbelievable.
I don't think you could have seen, I don't think Michael Jordan, I don't think even Kobe Bryant or LeBron, I don't think they were ever first for a 5-year, 6-year span in all of those categories. You're seeing a player that is so all around. And maybe it's the fact that because he's not hyped, because he's not doing these pressers or being on this, being the face of Nike, is being considered the best of all time, or even being considered top 10 player of all time, which is insane. I think when it's all said and done, Jokic is going to be on Mount Rushmore of NBA legends.
I agree. And I was going to say this really quickly too. Like, I think that the trajectory that Jokic is on, and it doesn't help that he's a little bit unconventional, like style wise and stuff too, but the trajectory that I do too, but just as far as these conversations go, Jokic is on GOAT trajectory but he won't play long enough to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
LeBron has already blown the timeline out of the water. You now have to play for 40 years to really be in that convo, because there will always be, look at how many seasons, right? Like even right now between Jordan and LeBron, they're having that, like, yeah, it was like a sprint versus a marathon. And it's really hard to compare the best marathon runner of all time to Usain Bolt. Like they're doing different things effectively. So Jokic would have to play for another 20 years to become, in that GOAT conversation, the top 1 or 2 of all time. But top 10, I think we've already seen enough, in my opinion, to put him in the top 10. I don't even think we need to see another 5 years. If he played another 5 years, I am fully confident that he would lead the entire NBA in every statistical category for the entire 2020s. I think that's very possible.
I think it's very possible. And the fact that he's 30 years old right now, we'll probably see him play the rest of the 2020s and probably hang it up then. Maybe he doesn't go that long. Maybe he doesn't go till 35. He doesn't have a lot left to prove. It's wild to think that every NBA team passed up on him. He's a second-round pick, 41st overall pick back in 2014. This is his 10th season. Does he play 15 years? And if he does, does that obviously put him in where we think he can be? I do think so, for sure. We talked about how he leads all the categories in the 2020s. This year alone, he's 5th in scoring, 29.5 points per game. 1st in rebounds, 12.3 rebounds per game. 1st in assists, 10.9 assists per game. And he's 8th in the entire league with a 62% field goal percentage. And I would take a wild guess that those 7 in front of him probably don't have as many shot attempts as Jokic does. Are you going to, right now, do you consider him once again, being in the MVP race this season?
Yes. And I think the reason that Nikola Jokic hasn't won more MVPs is because of MVP fatigue. Like they say, well, he can't win it again. Like, yes, he can. I hate that conversation. I hate that there's somebody, from the parity aspect of, any league, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL. Like if there is somebody who is dominant year in and year out, it's frustrating to me. Like it just is. Like same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Like that, I just don't love that. I don't love that for the sport, but you can't deny he is in fact year in and year out the MVP. What he is doing for this team. The same thing with even Patrick Mahomes. Like, I don't know if he's necessarily the MVP every year. It's a little bit different in football, but what he's doing is undeniable. Same thing with Nikola Jokic. Like, you can't just not vote for him because he won it 2 years in a row. Like, you can't just not vote for him because you've seen him too much. He is undeniable. What he is doing is simply unseen. Like, in the fact, I had the game from last night up because you mentioned it. He was plus 26 against Sacramento. Yeah, they were really successful in this game, and Spencer Jones was plus 25 and Jamal Murray was plus 24. So it's not and even Tim Hardaway Jr. was plus 25. So it's not like nobody else was plus ridiculous numbers, but he is when he's on the floor, Denver is significantly better. So yes, he is absolutely an MVP. When you talk about, is he going to make it to the end of the 2020s? I just pulled up some contract extensions conversations, and he signed it was a 5-year deal in 2022. That didn't really want to talk contract extensions last year. Looks like he'll probably do that this offseason. So I do imagine he'll play through 2030. I don't know if it'll be too much longer. It might be 2031, 2032. It's going to be generational, money, and then he'll probably just go home and do what he wants to do in Serbia. So whether that's racing horses or whatever, I do foresee him playing over the next 5 years. And the question is, if he dominates the 2020s in the way that we think he could, where does he land in the top 10? Legitimately, not just between you and I, because I think we know ball, right? I think we're probably one of the top programs out there. I think that there's see the number. Oh yeah. Geez. 140,000 people watching right now. Yeah. We know ball. Because we are live. If you haven't seen already, Marv and Rauh in the mornings live. But the conversation for the huge talking heads at ESPN, if you dominate the 2020s, it's a new era of basketball. Yes, you're going to have that conversation of these numbers would have never averaged in the 2000s or the 80s, just going back 20 years at a time. But they have to start considering him. Those huge talking heads, those huge agencies have to be put some respect on Jokic's name. He's earned it.
Yeah, 100% agree. They're second in the West right now, 18-6, But unfortunately, that's 5.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, 24-1. The Thunder are 10-0 in their last 10 games. That's insane. And I can't wait to watch those two take off against each other.
Oh.
The thing that sucks about that is they don't play each other until February 1st, the next time they play each other. So, of course, that will be easily the game of the week, the game of the day.